By the end of this video, you're going to know exactly what you need to focus on in 2021. Hi, my name is Mike B, and in this episode of Mindset Monday, we're going to break down why clarity is so important for your personal and professional development. In 2020, there was so much unknown and uncertainty that as a result, the whole world was in this big chaotic mess, and I felt like everybody was kind of pissed off and frustrated for multiple reasons. But that's why it's so important that if you want to take your life to the next level, you have to get certain about where it is that you want to go and get crystal clear clarity on how you're going to get there. Because in order for something to grow, something needs to change, which is why the purpose of this week's exercise, known as the Wheel of Life, is to really help you gain clarity and to prioritize what areas in your life you want to focus on. So then you can be more mindful about your thoughts, your habits, and routines to make sure that they're all in alignment with your personal and professional goals. Because without clarity, there's no change, and you'll continue to go through the motions of life. So I'm about to hop into the whiteboard. I'm going to do this exercise and activity with you. If you want to follow along, there's a link below. You can print out the PDF and you can print this out and you can do it too. And I think you're going to find it really beneficial, and I think you're going to be happy that you did it. So I hope you take it serious, and let's get right into it. Alright, so here we got the Wheel of Life, and you got all these different domains over here. Once again, you can download this worksheet in the description below if you want to follow along. But really, we're going to pick 10 domains. Now, there's 12 here, and it kind of depends on where you are at in your life. For example, you may not be in school, so you may not write that down, or maybe you don't have a career right now in this moment, depending on where you are at your stage of life. But really, you want to focus on 10, and it really could be anywhere from 7 to 10. In all honesty, but based off of this wheel, we're going to just focus on 10. So I'm going to fill these out and then I'll come back. All right, now that I have all the different domains filled out, that's really step one. You just want to pick the 10 domains and then you want to fill them out. People will interchange school and career based on where you're at in life. So just keep that in mind again. I'm going to break this down. We're going to start with money. And this is step number 2. You want to determine your level of satisfaction in each domain on a scale from 1 to 10. 1 being, I'm not really satisfied in this area. 10 being, I'm super satisfied. I'm very happy with where I'm at right now. And then obviously anywhere in between is based off that level. I'm just going to make up these numbers. These are not my personal numbers. I'm just going to kind of go with the flow. So let's say you got money. Maybe you're pretty happy in this area. You're like a 5. You're like, okay, you know, I have a pretty good salary, I make decent money, but maybe you want to make a lot more so you can really have that financial freedom in your life. With school or maybe your career, let's just say you're a little bit lower there. You're like a 3. You're not truly happy with what you're learning in school. Maybe it's been kind of a rough, difficult year. You're having a difficult time. Maybe with your career, maybe you lost your job or something because of you know what in 2020. So who knows? Maybe that's just low. For your health, maybe that's actually pretty high. Maybe you're up at an 8 because you're like, you know what? I've been taking care of my body. I've been eating healthy. I'm taking control of things that I can change. And, you know, my health is pretty good. Or maybe it's low. I put family and friends together just because that tends to be about relationships in general. And plus, based off the 10, just mathematically kind of work better that way. So let's say your friends and family, you know, that's a 7. You're pretty happy there, but maybe you haven't spent too much time with them overall and you think you can improve in that. Your love life, maybe that's really good. You're like, you know what? My love life is great right now. That's a 9 out of 10. Me and my partner, we're really spending a lot of time together. And maybe that's much lower. Maybe you're single, but also if you are single, this could be more about self-love too. How do you love yourself? What's your self-care routine? What are you doing to really, you know, lift yourself up and to love yourself and to appreciate who you are as a person? So love can also be self-love. Community, maybe that's a little bit lower. Maybe that's, I don't know, a 4. You haven't really done much with your community. You haven't volunteered as much. You haven't really been going out. Spirituality, how do you feel about this? Isn't necessarily religion. This is just your connection to your soul and to the meaning of life and to things of that nature, like your purpose. So for spirituality, maybe you feel really confident in that. Maybe you don't really know where you are in that area of your domain. So maybe that's more of like a 3. Maybe you feel kind of lost. You feel like you don't have a true connection with, you know, the spirit or God or whatever it is that you believe in. Fun. And this is experiences over here. I just put fun because they're the same thing, just easier to write out. So maybe fun, that's kind of average. You know, you're around a 5 where you haven't really gone out as much and you haven't traveled as much as you would like to just because of, you know, things that are going on in the world and you just haven't had that much fun. But it's somewhere around there. It's average. Growth, maybe you had a lot, maybe it was really high. maybe you've been spending a lot of time learning and you've taken online courses, you've been putting time into your passion projects, and you've been doing really well there. And maybe with mental emotional, maybe this is pretty good. Maybe it's like, a 7 where it's solid, but you can do something. Maybe you could start meditating a little bit more. Maybe you can start reflecting and journaling to open up your and gain insights into your own life. So once you start doing this, the next step is to just connect all the different dots here. So I'm going to draw a line between each one to connect these. So it really starts to create this wheel. As you can see, it creates a wheel. So we connect all these dots. Now, once you connect all the dots and you take a step back and you look at your wheel, you can really observe it and be like, what domains are kind of low here? We got school and career. That's pretty low. That's a 3. Now, normally you can shade this in if you want. I'm not going to do that because it's kind of pointless and it's going to be sloppy, but I just did it right there. You got spirituality. Maybe that's a little bit low too. Okay, that's a 3. So these are 2 of your lower ones. Community, that's kind of low. What else we got that's low? Money, that's average. Fun, that's average. Okay, so maybe these are some things: school, career, spirituality, community. And when you start to think about it, spirituality and community are actually kind of related a little bit, because often people that really are engaged in their local community tend to have a sense of purpose as well. So maybe connecting your spirituality with your community, connecting your career or your school, right? A lot of times schools do community service. So maybe you just need to talk to your school about community service opportunities, and that can lift up your domain in school. It can lift up your community spirituality. So next, we're going to answer these 3 reflection questions that can help you really gain clarity. I'm going to pull up that picture right now. All right, so after you look at your wheel, the first question you want to ask yourself: what domains need my attention and why? So maybe you say school, and maybe you say spirituality. I'm just going to abbreviate, and then community. And why? Why do you really need to focus on school right now? Maybe, I don't know, maybe you're a junior or you're a senior and you don't really know what you want to do with college. Do you want to go to college? Do you not want to go to college? What's your career path? Why are you not really taking school serious? Is there an underlying issue where maybe you're just not learning about anything that interests you, which is totally understandable, which is why I started Mindset University. And maybe you just want to try to figure out, what is my purpose in life? What do I really want to do? And maybe that's connected to your spirituality and community. So maybe the reason why is just you have a lack of clarity. So maybe the reason why you want to focus on these domains is because you have a lack of clarity and you want to gain clarity. You want to seek clarity, or you want to gain clarity. And that could just be enough of a reason why. So then you start to focus on that domain. And there could be other reasons too. You got to ask yourself that question, do the deep reflection. Then next, you want to say, how do you feel about your life as you look at this wheel? Overall, generally speaking, how do you really feel about it? Looking at this wheel, it seems like a lot of areas are pretty good. Your love life, your health, your family and friends. Money's not bad, but could be better. Growth overall. So it seems like there are certain domains in your life that are doing pretty well. But if we're talking about balance, right? Think of the wheel and you have a car and you're just running. It could be a bumpy road, but you want to try to smooth it out as much as possible. It's also important to be mindful that you don't want to have a perfect wheel. Well, not that you don't want to have a perfect wheel, but there is no perfect wheel. You're never going to have a perfect life. The domains are never going to be perfect. It's more just about checking in with yourself to see, okay, what needs my attention right now, right? You have health and fitness pretty lined up. You have good habits. Things are good. You're in a good routine. Maybe you just need to spend a little bit more time focusing on school versus your health and fitness. Doesn't mean you deprioritize health and fitness. It just means you put more energy into your school, if that makes sense. So then just ask yourself, how do you feel about this overall? Maybe you feel good. Maybe you want to go a little deeper and be more specific and say that you feel balanced. And you do feel pretty balanced, but you feel like you're capable of more, feeling like that you have more greatness, you have more potential, so you feel motivated. Maybe you feel motivated. You're like, you know what? I feel really motivated to take my life to the next level. Or maybe you look at this and you feel kind of in shock. You feel surprised. You're like, wow, like I didn't really expect my life to look like this, because now it gives you more of a holistic view of what your life actually is looking like around, which is why this is so powerful. The more that you do it, if you do it like anywhere from 1, 2, 3, 4 times a year, you don't need to do it more than 4 times, but if you do it a couple of times a year, it gives you a good reflection on how far you've actually come and the progress that you've made in life. So it's good to really continue to do this on a regular basis, and then you can identify how you're feeling in that moment. And then the third one is, what would it take to raise your satisfaction by one score? So for example, if you're a 3 in school, what do you have to do to get to a 4? Maybe it's just study an extra 20 minutes per day. I mean, it could be that simple. Maybe something with money. Let's say, I know we're up here. Let's just pretend we had money, right? What can you do to increase money? Maybe it's just to start a side hustle. And maybe you can start making some extra revenue on the side by maybe you're tutoring other people. And that could actually help connect you to your school, because you actually learn better and you become more of an educator, lifelong learner when you start teaching. Teaching is a form of mastery. So the more you start to teach stuff, the more you understand it and the more you apply it in your own life. So, and you're going to have a better connection with your community. You're going to feel more spiritual in a sense, not like, ooh, like all, like that. It's more of just, you feel confident with who you are and you feel confident with why you're doing what you're doing. You know what I mean? So when you're tutoring, you can be thinking to yourself, you know what? I really want to help kids that struggle, because I know what it was like to struggle myself. And now that I'm older and I realize, man, if I just had somebody in my life that really helped tutor me, really was able to understand a couple nuances about myself and about my life, man, I could change people's lives. So maybe that's a good reason why. And now you feel more connected. So just start asking yourself these questions. Focus on 1, 2, and 3 here. Fill out this worksheet. You're going to gain so much clarity. Even if you don't have everything completely figured out, it's just going to start building up and giving you momentum into what direction you need to go in your life and where you need to focus your time and energy. So hopefully you found this helpful. Once again, you can download the worksheet below in the link. You can complete this and work it out. Subscribe and like the video if you like this. I'm going to be trying to do more videos like this. So I want to try to do more of these worksheets together, so you actually do the worksheets, and it's kind of like I'm your accountability partner with you. I'm your teacher and coach along with you on this journey. So I hope you take this serious. I promise you're going to be pretty happy and satisfied when you actually complete this, because it will give you some clarity. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next episode. And as always, live your dreams.